All right, so we're back with another horror quest, again, still working title episode. On this one, we're actually going to talk about the movie The Empty Man. A movie that I only recently heard about.
Not to be confused with The Hollow Man.
Yes, Hollow Man. Have you seen that
one? Which one?
Is that the Kevin Bacon one?
Yeah.
Then yes, I've seen it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's The Invisible Man, right? Is the other one?
The Invisible Man, okay. Which I've seen also. He's also very good.
A lot of man-centered movies out, man. That's all,
Hollow Man, Empty Man, Slender Man,
Invisible Man,
Bye Bye Man.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Man.
Before we get into any of that, again, my name is Ray, and then we have Bryce here, the big horror fans of CineQuest Video, willing to talk about anything horror related. Again, this started off basically because we want to talk more about horror, aside from the normal CineQuest movies that we do talk about, which we love, but we also love horror too, and I feel that it deserves its own episodes.
Indeed.
So, since again, we talk about anything horror related, horror news, horror fashion, if you want to call it that, movies, news, we do have something we want to talk about. It's, again, not sponsored by any of these people. So anything we mention is items that we actually purchase ourselves and we're fans of. Mm-hmm. So,
but again, if y'all want to sponsor us,
yeah, if you do want to sponsor them, please go ahead and do it. Again, we talk about horror fashion and any of the stuff that we do talk about, we are fans of. And Bright Rags is coming out with a Night of the Living Dead kind of a collection.
Yeah, they're coming out with a lunchbox and some these little figurines, and they have it comes with a glow in the dark George Romero. Looks pretty sweet. And also coming in April, they're releasing a Shaun of the Dead line. They got a mug and some shirts and socks. The socks are it's actually like Simon Pegg and
nice.
Frost. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. And then they'll be releasing on the 16th of April the Joe Bob season 3, Last Drive-In season 3 merch. I got a Darcy action figure and the Joe Bob action figure, which I think you have actually a Joe Bob action figure.
I have a Joe Bob action figure that they did a special edition of. I think it was the red striped shirt or something. But yeah, I forgot why they did that specifically, but I got my hands on one of them. Thought they were going to sell out pretty quickly, but they didn't at the time because I was actually pretty early, which is pretty rare for myself.
Well, I need to get one. I want to get the Darcy and the Joe Bob. I don't know what the prices are. The price are for them though right now, but
you can probably think they're going to be like maybe $20.
Yeah, I think I do believe it's $20. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited about the merch. Maybe I'll have money to get something this time.
Yeah, maybe.
Although I think Gutter Garbs or Terror Threads, I'm not too sure which one it was, that they're doing a new line of I think Return of the Living Dead stuff that they have coming out. All these horror people are always doing some kind of a special rollout of a particular horror movie. And it's usually something that's very limited edition. So I'm hoping to get my hands on some. I have a few stuff from Gutter Garbs and Terror Threads and Fright Rags. Bryce got me a nice Nightbreed sweater that I hope to wear one day.
Yeah.
I have a Return of the Living Dead 2 sweater that I currently wear normally. And I think I bought a Sleepaway Camp 2 shirt from Fright Rags. A friend of mine got me a Reanimator shirt. I think it was a Terror Threads for my birthday. That was really awesome, which I still wear, and I love the shirt. And I have a Return of the Living Dead 2. Return of the Living Dead 2 is like a novelty movie for me, so I'll get anything they have. But Return of the Living Dead, the first one, is my favorite. But I still, for some reason, I like wearing the merch of Return of the Living Dead 2.
Nice.
But
I'm ashamed to say that I'm not up to date on my horror apparel. I will start collecting shirts more often. The only shirt I have so far is a great The Burbs shirt that Ray got me.
Got at the Texas Frightmare Convention.
I don't think it's is it like a brand or something, or is it just somebody made that?
I think it's just a group of folks who make the shirt, because I bought you that shirt, and I bought my cousin that same shirt.
Well,
But to be honest with you, like he likes horror and stuff like that. But I don't even know if he's aware of the quote itself. But just because of the fact of what it said in the back.
yeah, it's the chant that Ray is supposed to be chanting, signifying that he has been mind controlled by the cults or the satanic cult, supposedly.
The next door neighbors.
Yeah, next door neighbors. But that's really interesting though, because I wonder where they got the. They made that shirt. Like, I wonder where they got the. The design. Like, if they just.
I think they just made the design because, like, I don't recall seeing the design anywhere in the movie.
Because they got they have like the cultist figures, like with the horns and the skull. So that was pretty cool, man.
I think it's just like the quote itself that they have related to the movie. Because I mean, how would you know? If I saw just the picture itself, I would never know it was from the Burbs.
That's true, but the thing on the shirt is from the. It's from the movie. Like,
yeah, the way they're dressed.
Designed,
but you probably at first glance you probably wouldn't even know.
That's true.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to purchase more horror stuff. I mean, that's pretty much all I want these days.
Yeah,
it's the only clothes I really wear, except for cheap '90s flannel. I'm trying to get this grunge look coming back. You know?
That's right, man. Well, it is coming back. So
it is, right? And I'm gonna wear that with my Jinkos.
Yeah, that's right. We discussed that in last episode.
That's correct. Hold on. Okay. So speaking of like Joe Bob, we all know that is very popular on Shudder, and him and Darcy have been doing like these real like makeshift kind of live streams where they're literally like just using the camera on the fucking laptop, or it could be your phone for all I know, and they have a movie projected behind them. They did that with not Poultrygeist. What was the killing?
Poultrygeist.
No.
Yeah, it was no, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. That's what it was. Poultrygeist. No, it was Thanksgiving. But yeah. So like, and during the stream, I was always like fucking up and shit like that. But I mean, still having a lot of viewers and stuff to watch it.
Are they still doing that, or have they done it?
I don't think they've done it. I think they actually even got taken down. I mean, because who's trying to copyright fucking Thanksgiving, dude? Like, I don't fucking know. But that movie is hilarious. That movie's fucking funny. Yeah, so like, there's a lot of live streaming going on. Like people like doing watch parties and stuff like that, and so much so that. One of our favorite horror people, Bruce Campbell, is going to start doing a live stream. And the price is really a sight to behold.
Well, it's April 24th actually, and they have different tickets. They have I want to say, I don't know 100%, but I think the entry level one is like maybe like $25 maybe, and then you got
that's just to watch the movie.
That's just to watch, and then they have the $50 one, which a lot of these are sold out actually, but I think the $50 one's still available, and that's like you get a poster. But they had the highest level one was a $2,500 ticket in which Bruce Campbell will autograph on the stream a chainsaw to be delivered to one lucky.
Oh, this is for one chainsaw, not multiple chainsaws.
Well, I don't know. It's per ticket. They're sold out, so I'm assuming it was a very limited.
Okay, so
it could be only one, because like how many fucking chainsaws is he gonna sign? You know what I mean? But
well, I mean, if he does them live, I mean, and it's a limited edition. It could be 5, could be 10.
Yeah.
You know who's paying that much money for a goddamn chainsaw?
I don't know, man. Well, what kind of brand is it? Like Husqvarna, or is it still? Those are good chainsaw brands.
We tried to break it down to where. What would be more lucrative or financially feasible for us to get this particular thing, like a chainsaw signed?
Going to Harbor
Campbell.
Freight, buying the.
How big is the chainsaw? On top of that, is that like the actual movie prop that they designed specifically for this?
Well, because that chainsaw is a long ass blade.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, could you go and like get one of like those tiny handheld ones that are this big?
Electric
have them sign
chainsaw.
Yeah. How much, again, depending on which chainsaw you're going to purchase, the ticket for the convention, the amount you're going to have to pay for the ticket to get in line, and maybe the ticket to get in that line just to meet Bruce Campbell so he can sign this might come out even cheaper, assuming that you're paying for a hotel for a convention.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
You're also paying for gas for travel. Could still come out cheaper and mind you, more time consuming to get Bruce Campbell to sign this chainsaw. So I mean,
and you got to go through the whole. Will they even allow a chainsaw into a convention, anyways? I mean, obviously, maybe take the chain off. Take gas out of it. Even still, I don't know. They may not even allow you to take that in there. So,
well, I mean, if it's a horror convention, and again, maybe mind you, remove the chain.
Look, all I'm gonna tell you is, if I had the $2,500 to blow on, I would. Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I would do the same thing too.
No questions, but $2,500. That's a lot of.
What if the new Valley resident Elon Musk is one of the people that purchased that fucking chainsaw?
$2,500, man. That buys you a lot of Necronomicons. So
a lot that you can distribute to people.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so if anyone out there has actually bought a ticket, or I haven't purchased a ticket, so I mean, I've met Bruce Campbell. I've seen Evil Dead 2 a million times. I'm kind of satisfied with that. I don't think I need to do it, but I'll say this: I have purchased a few tickets for live concerts that have been kind of meh, depending on the quality. Some are free too. I mean, some have done live concerts free that are just as good as the ones that you pay so much money for. And frankly, like paying like $40, $50 for a ticket for a live concert, maybe I can see that just to pay for like the production and stuff like that. But I mean, depending on the band or something, I don't know if it's worth it or not. But that's just me. During the pandemic, I did throw some money down for some live streams that might have seemed like a good idea at the time.
I have not taken.
I may have regretted
recent phenomenon.
Maybe one or two, but the money's gone. Can't do anything about it now. So, but yeah. So in this movie, we're gonna talk. This podcast, we're gonna talk about the movie, The Empty Man. Cue bit the trailer. So, like we said, there's a lot of these movies that have to do with centered around man. Bye Bye Man, have you seen that one?
No,
I haven't, but I hear it's trash and I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I've heard. I think I've seen reviews on Bye Bye Man, and it's no.
Yeah, Slender Man, don't care to see it either. I think the actual story of the two girls. I think they killed the girl. Or they attempted to kill the girl.
It's a bad movie. Slender Man's a bad movie.
The documentary about Slender Man is better than the actual movie itself. Hollow Man, I like that one. It's Kevin Bacon,
Yeah, of course.
Doesn't Elizabeth Shue come out in that?
I think so, yes.
Invisible Man was also very good. What else? Other man is there?
I'm sure there's other ones. Dude, I don't know. But
Franken Man? No.
Franken Man. Man Thing.
No. Man Thing.
Nah.
The Man.
Mansquito.
I was going to say Undercover Brother, but that's completely... Conspiracy? No, that's Conspiracy Brother, right?
Yeah, Conspiracy Brother.
Anyways, going off topic again. Empty Man, again, movie just heard about. I saw like things on YouTube. I remember vaguely seeing like a promotion for this. Kind of just came and went. And it came out in 2020, so obviously during the pandemic, so like nobody went to see that shit. I think maybe people would have gone to see it if it was in the theater long enough. Because I mean, people probably went to go see Bye Bye Man or Slender Man and all that shit.
I don't think Slender Man was in theaters.
I'm sure it was.
Who's in the Bye Bye Man?
I don't remember. Some no names.
There was another movie that was based on they basically just adopted Slender Man and made it, and I can't remember what the hell the name it was, and it actually featured a pretty prolific actress. I think it also had a man title. I don't know, but
another man title.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I don't think Slender Man was in theaters, or Bye Bye Man was, I believe.
I feel like it was. Like I mean, audience, if we have an audience, comment down below. Did you see Bye Bye Man? Did you waste your money?
I'm sure Bye Bye Man was in theaters. I just don't remember Slender Man movies.
Oh yeah, Slender Man, was that in theaters? Did you waste your money? Questions again. So, but yeah, so Empty Man. I told Bryce about it. I wanted to talk about this movie because it seemed interesting. I really didn't know too much about it. Apparently, it's a comic book.
Yeah,
based on a comic book. Yeah,
I did not know too much about it either. Ray's the one told me about it, and so I recently viewed that as well. Yeah, it is based off a comic series. I think it's only got like 7 parts to it so far. It varies a little bit from the movie. I noticed that the comic book, it kind of reminds me a little more of like the X-Files, sort of in a way. It's kind of like the CDC and FBI are investigating a rise in a lot of death cults, and there's like this mysterious disease called the Empty Man syndrome or something of that effect. So, which is, I feel like the comic series kind of focuses more on like whole world happening, like all this happening in the whole world, as opposed to like the movie is more centered on a single person's story. So that was a big difference I saw in it. I don't know anything about the graphic novels or the comics. I haven't read them. They do seem pretty interesting, so I might check them out after watching the movie.
Right. So I mean, going in blind with this movie, I didn't know what to expect. So I just kind of press play and hope for the best. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good movie, considering that movies that kind of have a similar title, like in Slender Man, Bye Bye Man, are trash.
Yeah, it does seem like they kind of basically have a similar theme of being bad movies. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just think it's like, to me, when you put that man part in, like,
the man part.
Yeah. Well, no, when you put that whole anyways, it's just like, it reminds me of like, it harkens back to like bad sci-fi movies, like from the 50s, like Radioactive Man or something. Like, I don't know, whatever. But it already, it's like kind of setting you up for like, wow, this is not going to be a good movie. But.
Right. And I mean, I was kind of scared that was going to be the case. Well, I mean, scared. I was worried that might be the case, and I was terrified,
petrified,
because I was going to rent the movie. That it was like,
that is the most terrifying aspect.
I was going to rent the movie, so I had to cough up some money for it. Not only did I not rent it, I purchased the movie, because to rent it was like $4.99 in standard definition and high definition. So I mean, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
And to purchase it was $9.99 for standard or high def, and I was like, well, $4 more, I can have it forever. I mean, whether or not it's good or bad, I mean, I'm stuck with it.
There you go.
Or I feel like I was fucking myself over if I rented it, only had it for a minimal amount of time, and then I spent $5. So an extra $5, and I would have had it forever. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to buy it. It's not the first time I purchased a movie off a whim and I didn't know anything about it. So I'm willing to accept the consequences when making that kind of decision.
There you go.
So started this movie. Basically, it starts off with a group of hikers. What are they, like it seems like the Himalayas mountains, or like some Asia mountain area. I really don't know.
I think it's Nepal. Yeah, it's in Nepal. So it's like, it'd be like the Himalayas and this kind of area. Yeah.
Right. So it's like 4 people hiking, and they cross this random bridge. I think the bridge seems a little bit significant because, I mean, they seem to emphasize the bridge a little bit. And then they walk across, and then one of the guys falls into a hole where he is kind of like in a trance.
He hears something.
Well, he hears something, and he follows the sound. Yeah, and then he doesn't see the hole. He falls down a hole, and people go down. His friend goes down to rescue him, and he's like kind of like in a trance, staring at this skeletal figure. Does it have wings?
Yeah, it's got wings, and it has multiple fingers. It's playing like a flute type thing, and that factors in later on, the whole kind of like flute blowing instrument. But it kind of, the painting, to describe it, the skeleton, to describe it, kind of reminds me of a painting, and I'm not going to butcher his name, but it's a Polish artist, and he has a painting of a weird humanoid figure playing a flute, and it's got these like 20 fingers or more. I don't know. That's what it kind of looks like. It's
elongated fingers.
Yeah. Sort of, I don't know, would you say Lovecraftian? Was it?
I'll be honest with you, I thought that's what it was.
Kind of Geiger-esque almost a little bit. Like, kind of reminds me of like something Geiger would paint in a way. But so he sees this skeletal figure. It's got wings and just, many arms and limbs and all that stuff. And then his friends, they kind of go in after him, and they find him there, sort of Blair Witch style, entranced by the creature.
He's not staring at a corner. He's like just staring at the creature.
Yeah. Is he he's talking to you, right, or something like that?
He's like a whisper chant.
Yeah. And you can't really ever hear what they're saying.
Satan is good. Satan is our pal.
Because you really can't ever hear what they're saying, right?
No. Like it's like a mystery what they're actually saying. Like, because later on, you see like other folks kind of reacting the same way, where they're just like whispering either into someone's ear or they're just whispering to themselves. So you never know what they're saying. Maybe if we hear it, we'll get into a trance and end up like killing somebody. But it wouldn't take much, right?
Yeah, it would.
Just a little push.
Yeah.
So they try to get this guy some help, but they have to hike back to like civilization, but they don't. They find some like abandoned house, it seems, and there's some title cards that say like day 1, day 2, day 3. Apparently, I guess after the 3rd day, that's when it kind of reminded me of The Ring. Like, you know, after a certain amount of days, the entity or the spirit kind of takes effect, you know? So I don't technically realize that until later on in the film when they kind of explain that. But as the days go on, like they either hear stuff or they see stuff. The guy's girlfriend thinks she sees a figure kind of coming after her after the two other hikers who are just trying to get out and kind of like look around, see if there's any like help visible. That was kind of a creepy scene. I did like that. Like you couldn't really like tell like off in the distance that there was a figure, but it was like slowly getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
And then at some point it just starts running after her. I like those kinds of scenes. Like it's a slow build up and then it runs, but like there wasn't any sort of music that was too overpowering to where like it was just the sound of it that kind of like freaked you out. But the actual item thing that was being filmed kind of put that dread into you. So I like that.
Yeah, it was a well done scene. I mean, you know, I guess would you kind of say that's like a jump scare in a way type thing?
It's kind of a jump scare, but like not like in the I guess more modern sense. It's a well done jump scare.
Yeah, that's what I would say because
it's not just like done like over
loud
and over.
noise to scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, like where you know, like you see it's just real quiet, and then like not only do you see the figure, but
there's a build up too. Like,
you see like this heavy music just comes right over to kind of like jump scare you, you know. You see a lot of that in like Insidious and Conjuring movies and stuff like that. Again, I like those movies, but at some point or another, it's done to death, and like you realize that that's all they're relying upon to get a reaction out of the audience, which makes me feel dumb, and I don't like that. So at some point or another, the guy wakes up. I think it's on the 3rd day. They see him like near like a cliff, and basically somehow he's possessed in some way his girlfriend to kill the other 2 folks that they're with, in which they fall off the cliff. And then after that, kill herself. She falls off. Title card.
Yeah.
20 minutes, close to 22 minutes in, do we get a title card of the actual fucking movie, which I completely forgot I was even watching The Empty Man because like I even forgot that there was no title card. I didn't even see any credits until this point in time, which is, I think, pretty ballsy of like whoever's making the movie to just let the title card go on until like 20 minutes into the fucking movie.
I like the title sequence too. That was pretty unique.
Yeah, I liked it too. Do you know of any other like movies that wait that long for the title card to come in?
I think there are, and I'm pretty sure there's been jokes made about it, but I can't off the top of my head think about it.
I feel like I know, and I've seen these movies before, but it's just not ringing a bell. We'll get back to you on that. Or if any of you watching know, like comment below, see if there's any.
I feel like The Lodge, didn't The Lodge do that?
I feel like The Lodge did it.
Wasn't it like after she
pops herself?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, I want to watch Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
Spoilers, pop herself in the head.
Yeah.
You actually remember when we were watching that? I was like, is that Alicia Silverstone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it? Like, it doesn't. I can't tell if it's her or not.
She looked very different.
It is her. Bam.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And I couldn't afford her for that long, man.
Yeah, right. You go, she was in Clueless, for God's sake.
Well, I wonder, and I wonder how the casting for that was. Like, Alicia, we really like your work. We really can't afford you for very long, so we have a perfect role for you. You're gonna kill yourself within the first few minutes of the film.
She fucking signed on the dotted line really fast. She's like, you guys have no idea how much I need this money.
Yeah.
Or you think maybe she was like thinking that this kind of role was like a Drew Barrymore in a Scream? You know, they're just in the very beginning until they end up dying.
Wasn't Drew Barrymore like in her underwear in that in Scream though?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
She was fully clothed.
Oh, never mind.
what was Poison Ivy, right?
Oh yeah, well, no. Who's in the Scream? What's the one they make fun of in Scary Movie? Who's the
Carmen Electra?
Oh, it really is Carmen Electra in the first? Dude, I haven't seen Scream in forever, man.
No, wait, no. Carmen Electra's not in. Unless you're thinking of like Rose McGowan, but like nobody gets naked in this movie, like in Scream.
Damn, it's been a long time since I've seen Scream.
There's just
maybe I'm just conflating that with fucking.
No, I think the only thing the thing you're thinking of, maybe I'm assuming in Scream, is a scene where Rose McGowan kind of goes into the garage and there's like a shadow and it's just like well lit nip scene where like she's wearing a green shirt and like, but like it's emphasized like that's what they were going for. The minute she walks in, you see like fucking hard nips. And
Indeed.
Everyone's like, yeah, like that's how easily we're fucking entertained. Let's see some hard nips coming out of that shirt. There's no nudity, just hard nips.
That's right. That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done that with any dude probably, and maybe Jamie Kennedy. Hey, if you're watching Jamie Kennedy, I've seen your YouTube videos. Maybe you go get us some hard nips, you know.
I like to see
that. A little bit of ice. Maybe in the new Tremors movie. Maybe we'll come on in the new Tremors movie and he can give us a hard nip scene, you know? Just equalize the playing field, you know?
Malibu's Most Wanted too.
Right. So yeah, this movie like starts, after the title card, the movie starts off with, it's a girl, right? Or like, there's some guy, I don't even, like, for a while there, I didn't even know who this guy was or how they played into the whole beginning of the movie. Because like, I personally didn't. I mean, I don't know about you, Bryce, but I didn't realize any of that tied together towards the very end.
What
the guy from the beginning to the guy at the end? There wasn't any sort of notification or like any sort of title card to assist us with the fact that how much time has gone by.
Yeah, I was noticing that about this movie, and I think that's kind of what I don't know. I would assume that's what the director was going for. It's actually a very disorienting movie. Like, I don't know. That's what I got from it.
But the one thing I will say that I did appreciate is that they didn't have to necessarily explain everything entirely. So you have to let the audience kind of figure it out as they go along. Because, I mean, there was points where I was confused, but, I mean, it didn't turn me away from the movie.
Well, I feel like they were trying, again, like, because this is based off a comic book, and they were trying to do their own thing with the movie versus the comic book.
Follow the story too much of the comic book.
Well,
I don't think, you know.
Well, I know, but I think they were trying to introduce some elements of the comic book, and to me, it was like they were just trying to shoehorn some of that in there because like, it was almost like a completely different movie up to the point where like they're talking about the cult or what was that Institute or whatever. Like they started introducing that, and I was like, okay, that's like a different turn. And then he goes to like of course I'm skipping ahead here, but he goes to like that little retreat out there in the wilderness. So yeah, like I said, I felt like the movie it was trying to like, I don't know, like it was like a little bit disorienting, I guess, like, or it was trying to tie a lot of storylines together.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and it did it well.
Up until that point, like, you only know the incidents that have happened, and you know there's some teenagers that have summoned the empty man, so to speak. Not to say that it's kind of, it seems a bit ambiguous if it's like an actual entity or a figure or something, or it's something that lives within someone's head. You don't really know that technically. At least I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, it's almost like a kind of like a Bloody Mary figure in a way, because like how do they summon it? They have to blow on the bottle.
They find an empty bottle on the bridge.
Yeah.
They blow into it, but they have to like believe that he's gonna come.
Don't they say his name like 3 times too or some shit?
I don't even think it was 3 times. She just was like sitting down, going, "Empty man." Empty man. She just kept on repeating the empty man while sitting on the empty bridge and while like blowing into an empty bottle, and it turns out like all those folks that are with them end up hanging themselves underneath the bridge. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. But yeah, which you find out that the girl who actually summoned or like wanted to summon the empty man as just kind of like a prank, she's not part of that group. And I don't know how her friend, like, why wasn't she a part of that group that was kind of entranced? You know what I mean? Like, she seemed like she was like away from them because she didn't believe it, but like it kind of
possibly. Like, well, no, but they end up coming for her too, because that's the whole thing is like, no, it jumps from like one person, or not jumps, but like it sort of like consumes the next person until it's like all those people who did it. Because I don't think like the person before her was probably in the same boat, because like they were probably all like coming for her too, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, one, I'm talking. Are you talking about the girl in the spa, or like she's in that like heated sauna thing?
well, I'm just saying that. Okay, you're saying like you don't think that the last girl was affected by it, or
No, there's a girl who summoned, right?
Yeah.
The empty man. She was part of this. It seemed that she was a part of this cult.
Well, we don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet. But the friend of hers that was kind of reluctant to even participate.
Was she part of the cult, or did she become part of the cult because she summoned the empty man?
See that? I don't know.
See, that's what that was like. I confused about. Yeah, I need to rewatch it, or I need to really like rewatch it and just like take notes on it, because I'm very curious. Because I thought that she became part of the cult, or they all did, because the other ones they hung themselves, right? So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's the few that hung themselves underneath the bridge, but then there was that other girl, that other friend of hers, that was talking to that guy about where Amanda was. And that she saw all the friends kind of sitting like cross-legged.
Yeah,
remember?
That's what I'm saying.
All those people hung themselves, but that girl like didn't seem to be in the same trance as they were. But the empty man, so to speak, still came for her at some point or another. But you remember, like,
well, the reason, but she's not in a trance. She wasn't in a trance because I think, like I was saying, the person has to whisper that thing into your ear, like has to whisper the chant, like that chant into your ear. And I don't think anyone had done that to her yet.
But did someone? I don't recall like the scene that at any point during the movie, because like
because the first girl, I can't remember how the timeline goes, but when after the scene where they call the empty man or whatever, that like I think the next I really need to get the names of the characters so we can like differentiate a little bit better, but. Do you remember the scene where she's looking over the balcony and she's like, it's like and by the way, like, because at this point they're not like friends anymore. She's not really hanging out with those people as much anymore.
Like, she's like the mall or the food court or something.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah. She's looking over a balcony and then she sees that the person's like whispering into that person's ear.
Oh, okay.
And I think that that person then whispers into the next person's ear, because it seems like,
but again,
it comes in stages. Like then they do the chanting and then it's like they hear him. And then they see him, like,
yeah, but we also don't see that, so we don't technically know that that's what
not
happened.
Not at this point, but they tell you later on that's what happens.
Okay, but I mean, like,
I just don't think anyone got to that girl yet. Like, I don't think that's why they're all, and also too, like when she's in the truck or like car and she's talking to the detective and like although they're sitting cross-legged, maybe they were waiting to get her so they can, transfer the empty man virus into her, whatever you want to call it. But that's the way it works I think that's the way it works in the comic books too. It's like they got to spread it and all that shit. So
because like you said, it's kind of like a disease kind of thing. But what I don't understand, I mean, again, because I don't recall seeing that, she's not in the same level of a trance as they are, it seems. Because, I mean, she also doesn't know, she doesn't seem like she knows what's happening until like she's doing it to herself. You know, like the girl in the very beginning when she kills those two friends of them and they fall off the cliff. Like she looks like she's zombified until she like fucking kills herself. But the girl who's in the sauna, she's just like in the sauna, just chilling until like it seems like something attacks her. But again, spoilers. The empty man like is like stabbing her, but she's really stabbing herself. But she doesn't seem like she's in a trance. So like, how did that affect her to that extent? Like, I don't know, because like she doesn't seem like at the levels they are. And even that girl in the very beginning.
It's a movie you really got to pay attention to.
So, like, is there really like an entity that's coming that possesses them, and then they do it to themselves? Like, or is it that aggressive? Like, where it says like she was a part of that group that summoned Empty Man reluctantly. She did that. So it's gonna come after her regardless whether or not she really believes it or not, or she's just kind of because she seems like she's just worried about her friends, and like she's kind of scared about what's going on. But the rest of them seem like they're just down a clown because they're in a trance, So nothing's really affecting them until you find the fact that they've all hung themselves underneath the bridge. I'm just kind of curious as to, is there a certain level she has to be like possessed for that to affect her, or like it's gonna come after you no matter what?
Well, the way I understand it is there's like stages of it. because I think they say it too in the movie. It's like first you hear him,
Yeah,
you see him,
exactly.
then he comes for you. Sort of like the Ring style shit, like you were saying. But
like
I think they have to. I don't know. For some reason, I don't know where I got this. That person has to whisper into your ear, like I don't know, something like that.
So it's quite possible that someone whispered into your ear at some point.
Maybe we don't know. We don't see
We
it.
don't know.
Maybe
Yeah, so
because I
there you go.
remember you said the girl that first blew in the bottle. She's part of that institute now.
Yeah, and
So maybe she got to her at some point. I don't know, man. But
maybe I don't know. We have to watch it again. Because this movie itself, like, kind of doesn't give you all the answers right off the bat. So you kind of have to
it's definitely a movie where you
have to pay attention for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, it definitely could. It could do with the rewatching. Like if you really want to like get all the nuance of it, because there's a lot of things you can miss in this movie.
Right.
So
there's a lot of bridges in this movie, like for instance,
both literal and figurative.
Yes, exactly. I don't know why like that. Like when that detective goes to that institute or that little retreat, whatever. And
what's the name of the institute? Right, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I know it's got it's like Pendergast Institute or something.
I don't know, but like he goes on that little bridge and it's like really narrow and stuff.
Yeah,
and I was just like, is that symbolism that things are getting tighter and more narrow, and like he's closing in on something? I feel smart. I don't know if that's true, but like that's what I thought, and I felt confident in myself a little bit, and I could be completely wrong.
Isn't that all that matters, Ray?
All that matters is like felt confident in myself watching this movie.
And in the end, that's what the Empty Man movie wants to do.
To build confidence in your mental capacities or intelligence. Like, wow, thanks, Empty Man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like an infomercial.
The more you know and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what about the ending of this movie? Like, we find out that there's a connection from the first guy that got possessed in a trance. He's been like in a coma this whole time, right?
Yeah, he's his body's giving out. So, are we doing
yeah,
okay. Well, his body's giving out, so the whole Empty Man cult or whatever, they need to find a new vessel for the Empty Man. So he's dying. He's in a coma. His body's giving away, and this is where I don't know if I would necessarily say that they lost me, Ray, but the whole fact that they got to bring in like a tulpa aspect to it. So you're gonna tell me that they manifested like the law of attraction? This fucking guy, like they secreted
that's what it appears that they did, right? I mean, like because the girl, like Amanda, who's survived,
they fourth agreement this guy to like existence and shit. Like I don't know, man.
It turns out like she says that she kind of like built his narrative, right? She kind of like willed the whole situation to existence.
Why do they have to put it? I don't know. It's interesting to me because like if the Empty Man, okay, obviously the whole idea is he's an empty vessel. They can put this thing in him, but why even bother creating somebody with memories and hopes and desires? Why not? If they can just manifest like an entity or like not an entity but a being or an automaton almost like from sheer will, like why even bother with all the other stuff?
Theatrics?
I don't know, man. It bears rewatching. That's all I'm saying. Like it's if
it's a cult, think of all the cults that we've read about, watched documentaries or movies on. Look how theatrical they are, right? We just talked about just mentioned like that Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
The theatrics on that, I mean, they have to kill themselves in a very
yeah.
I mean, it's like a subtle theatrics that they have. Like they drink their little thing, they cover themselves, but yet they have someone film it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the main part. They need to let everyone know, look at what we did, and they think they fucking got on Hellbop. Like that's not what happened. They're dead. So I mean, with these guys, like that scene where he's at the retreat and they're going around the fucking flame, and then the flame kind of just like gets higher.
I like that scene. It was pretty cool.
That was a cool scene. I liked it a lot.
Reminded me a lot of the Endless. Like some of the stuff in the Endless reminded me of that. Which is another good movie too, by the way.
Yes, a very good movie. What was the point of that?
I don't know.
It was just for his benefit, right?
I guess
so he could see it and get like, whoa.
Yeah, because he looks up at the stars too. He gets all like disoriented.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah. Because there was like, and then all the kids are like following him. They stop. And they look over at him, and I was like, is this really happening to him? Is he imagining this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of like this movie. Not say the point of this movie, but like throughout this entire movie, you really don't know what's real or what's necessarily. I mean, you know it's like real necessarily, but like you don't know what their angle is. You don't know what they're trying to do. Like, what is the point of all of this? And then of course we kind of find out at the end like he's like supposed to be like a vessel or something, but
because then we find because there's a whole storyline with the detective too that his son and wife are dead.
While they died while he was fucking Amanda's mom.
Yeah, after her husband died, right?
Yeah, actually, just after the funeral.
Oh shit! Yeah,
that's tight.
Oh, there you go, man. That's some love triangle and shit going on right there, man. I don't know.
Yo, husband's dead. I'm here to fuck you. I sent my wife and kid home. Yeah. Oh, by the way, they died. So, yeah. So I mean, the movie does tie in at the very end, but you're still kind of left with questions. But I mean, I think a pretty good movie would leave you and like with those kinds of questions. It doesn't just give you all the answers. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so who is the empty man? Is he the empty man because he's the empty vessel, or is the empty man the actual entity that goes in him? And it's like the empty man or whatever that's in the guy. Oh, and so at the end of the movie, detective comes and he kills the guy.
Yeah.
But he does that thinking that that's gonna, oh shit. And then but the thing is, it was pretty fucking confusing, man. Because the thing is, like down in the sewers or whatever the fuck when he's trying to get away, like that thing comes and like spews into him. So isn't he already, in essence, being filled by the empty man? And then he goes and he shoots the guy that's in a coma, like as if that's like his like that's the answer to all his problems. Like that created his.
Well, before like. Unless the transfer is complete. Oh. Like he has to kill him first and then he can stop it, but really I didn't really do anything. Or did it? I don't know. Although it was a cool scene too, like he just points the gun and blasts the guy's fucking But like effects, the fact that he shoots the gun and like pretty much half the guy's face just comes
he like unloads like a fucking
yeah, but like it seems like his bones were so weak that it just kind of like shattered.
Well, he's been in a coma for a while, man. It's atrophy, dude. It's not getting his vitamin D.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this movie left me a bit confusing, but I would like to watch it again because I mean,
yeah, I need to rewatch it again just to kind of understand a little bit better because then he's like, so now he's like, oh, and then so after he kills him, he's walking out. And then all the people in the hospital, like they bow down to him. So then there's a lot more people who are into this whole empty man conspiracy than was let on.
Well, you know that scene with the nurse.
And so is he essentially now the new empty messiah, like or the empty savior? Like what's going on here? I don't get it. Like is he the empty Neo? Like
no, maybe. You know that scene with the nurse, like whenever she's like telling him like who that guy is, like that scene was kind of creepy to me. Like her delivery, like I really liked it. Like. She really like set like a very dreadful mood just by her telling the detective who the guy is in that room. And of course, you find that's where he finds Amanda, who he's been looking for this entire time.
Yeah,
and she's crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
She's fucking nuts.
No, it was a good movie. Although I guess my other question is like, what's the end game for that then? Like, what is he supposed to bring about? Like, he's supposed to bring about like a new dark era? Like,
I don't know.
See, the comic books, I think I don't know, man. I don't, again, I've never read the comic books before. A little bit I read about it. It seems like it gives a little bit more of a premise. Like, it's not so much, see, the empty man, from what I understand, the comic books is what this thing that spreads to the people. It's not like necessarily this guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's the empty man. Yeah. It's not really like, I don't know. It's just strange, man. But it does have some similarities with the comic book, the movie. Like, they have the cults. So the cults, I feel like, are a little more prominent in the comic books than they're in the movie. But I think this would have been good as a series, honestly, because from the way the comic is doing it, from what I got from the comics, like I said, I'm going to say it again, it's very X-File-y, sort of like CDC, FBI is investigating these like paranormal things. I think they could have made a pretty cool series out of it. You know,
I agree with you. That probably would have been a good way to deliver this movie in a series format or like miniseries, even miniseries maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
true. Because it's a pretty grandiose concept from what I was gathering. So it's like it may have been too much to put into a single movie, which may be why it was like kind of twisting and turning and seeming like a little confusing.
I may be incorrect with this fact or piece of trivia, but I think this was the director's first movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, not bad.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add about The Empty Man before we give our ratings?
No, not really. I think I've also.
It's a confusing movie, but I mean, like,
yeah,
it's worth, it gives it worth a second watch.
Yeah, watch it, and it is worth a second watch. It's good.
What do you give this movie? 1 out of 5, as usual.
1 out of 5, as usual. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm kind of confused.
Can I? I'll go first.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give this movie. I was gonna give it a 3 out of 5, but I'm gonna give it an extra 5 for confusing me, and like the -5, like where I get the 3.5, because I probably would have given it a 4 if I knew more so what was going on.
Damn, I should have gone.
Or a 3. So right in the middle, confusing me. I like that. So you're giving me a 5. And now that I don't know entirely what's going on, that's the -5. So that's why I'm right in the middle, 3.5. So I like the fact that I don't know what's going on, but I also don't like the fact that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I got to watch it again. And now that I purchased it, I can watch it forever. So
yeah. That's funny. I guess we have very similar minds in a way, because I was gonna give it a 3 point. I was trying to decide. I was like, should I give it a 3? But I was like, I gave Slacks 3. I was like, but then I thought like 3.5 as well.
But you also have to think like we watch our other episode, Slacks.
Yeah.
It's a totally different type of movie. So
yes,
I mean,
true.
Like you're trying to figure out where
I gotta give it a
movie
rating in its own context. Then yeah, I think I'll give it a 3.5 as well. I had the same problem with it too. It was confusing. I really like the atmosphere, like cinematography.
Yeah.
I thought the directing was good.
You know that one shot where they show the map and then kind of like slowly goes in and like zooms in and then kind of like turns into the actual road.
Yeah.
And they kind of go even lower as the car is driving. The shot goes even lower just below the car. I like that shot a lot.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like the camera work was great in this movie. The shots and the directing was great. I just feel like the story could have been, I don't know if the words like fleshed out better, or just maybe again, like, and maybe it's bad that I want it to be spoon fed. Like maybe, I don't know, not necessarily, but
we're spoiled.
I think it just needs to be rewatched. And sometimes that's the sign of a good movie, is that it has that rewatch quality. You know what I mean? Because how many movies do you watch and you're like, I want to go watch that again, or like I need to rewatch it again just to see if there's something I missed, and this has that. So
for sure.
Maybe my rating will change having watched a second time, but at this point, I'll also give it a 3.5.
Well, maybe the second viewing we'll figure out everything. We're like, well, this movie blows ass. That's 2.5.
Yeah. Well, there you
never know. You never know. That might happen. Speaking of like fleshing out into a series, like I had been watching the movie Servant. I think that was produced or executive produced or directed at some point or another by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh,
like M. Night Shyamalan like has like a hit or miss kind of thing going on with him, and he's had for years, ever since The Sixth Sense came out.
Yeah,
I mean, I love The Sixth Sense. I love fucking Signs, the Alien movie.
Well, of course.
I love Split. I thought that was a really good movie.
I love Signs too.
I'm a little iffy on like Lady in the Water and shit, because that was just a ridiculous movie. And The Village.
It's got Paul Giamatti in it.
Yeah, it does, right? Well, what's that guy, Freddie, whatever his name is, who has that one big fucking arm and shit? He only works out one side of his arm, and like it's just fucking huge.
No.
And it's just weird. There's weird characters. In The Village, I actually like that, even though everyone's like disappointed with the ending. The happening blew ass. I don't give a fuck that these plants. He could have approached that story better. Anyways, Servant is kind of associated with him, and like it's gotten more and more confusing as time has gone on since I've watched that series.
What about the one about the grandma and grandpa?
Oh, The Visit?
Yeah, The Visit.
I like that one. Yeah. I know he's like his name's tied to that. I don't know like what role he played. I don't know if he wasn't director. I don't think.
Oh, he wasn't. Oh,
I don't know if he was director or just producer. But I mean, I know his name's tied to it. But I did enjoy that one. The scene with the granny like scratching the wall and her like old ragged ass like just there like she's. I was like, I'm scared, but scared for not the reasons they think. You know, like I didn't want to see some woman's old, wrinkled ass just jiggling on the big screen. I saw it at the movies, mind you. So like that ass was like fucking huge. So I did enjoy that one.
M. Night Shyamalan seems to be kind of. I don't know if he's got some kind of weird phobia of aging or the elderly, but he likes to use the old in his movies. I've noticed.
Yeah, I know. You ever see Devil? The one where they're in the.
No, you know what? I never get the elevator. No, I never got to see that one.
Well, there's an old lady prominent in that too. So.
Okay, and The Happening, the scene. Well, I mean, obviously, I know The Happening isn't like about that, but the scene where they go to the old woman's house.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
But yeah, like for some reason or another, like that Servant series, like I feel like it started off one way and it's like going in like these weird fucking different directions. For some reason or another, I give M. Night Shyamalan every chance, every single time, even if it's going to disappoint me. And I've been heavily disappointed by movies that he's done. And he does another one, and I'll come back and fucking watch it because I think I'm always thinking. Maybe it's just me, but I'm anticipating a big reveal like you get like in Sixth Sense or like Signs or something. That I'm always waiting for that last payoff. Sometimes it never comes. Or sometimes when it does comes, it's so lackluster. You're just like, what the fuck did I just waste my time doing? But hey, he takes chances, so...
Are you hoping that he's going to do like some kind of weird Stephen King?
I want him to do just more horror shit.
Do a Shyamalan-verse where it's like...
The Shyamalan-verse?
Or it's like all the people are going to be connected again, or really connected.
Damn.
Because you know Stephen King does that, right? With his books.
Yeah, like he sets everything in like Castle Rock and shit like that.
Yeah.
He makes mention in like certain things, or even in books too. Like Dreamcatcher, there's a scene where they see like Pennywise lives and shit because it's in Derry.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, it.
Well, in my Shyamalan sort of did that with The Split and Glass and all
but that was like intentional. That's intentional.
No, I know,
like,
but who knows? Maybe it'll turn out that the fucking Bruce Willis was he was actually the same character from Sixth Sense.
I don't even want to get into how that would work because that would be like a whole like maybe 2-hour discussion.
Because he dies in what was the last one? Glass or no? What was
Glass? I think
he dies, right?
Does he?
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I fell asleep during that movie.
I think he does. I was thinking that like.
Did you watch it?
No. Well, I did watch some of it.
I fell asleep hardcore watching that movie.
But I was thinking like they could tie it in where it's like. But I think he dies at the end, so it doesn't matter. But they could make it to where like he's retiring from being a superhero. Now he's like a therapist, and he's like giving up his superpower. That's why the shot kills him.
Are they gonna bring
a ghost?
Are they gonna bring Haley Joel Osment in like to reprise his role? Oh man, can you imagine him? Like he's like just high like all the time, saying he sees dead people, but like he's just like on acid and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know that's actually Signs is just really a sequel to fucking.
What?
Wow, you're just tying in like fucking Breakable, Split, and Glass. Split was supposed to be like a prequel. No, wait, no, it's a sequel to Breakable. Unbreakable.
How are you connecting How are you connecting Signs into this, man?
Mel Gibson. I don't know. Like, what does he do? Like,
I don't know. How are you gonna connect that, man?
That's a whole nother episode, dude. I'm not even gonna get into it.
You could probably easily tie in The Happening and fucking.
And fuck The Happening. Dude.
You could tie the Signs and Happening in. You could say that The Happening is the sequel to Signs, and that's like the aliens are fucking coming back, and they're like turning the planet against us or some shit. I don't know.
Damn. Maybe. The Happening is a sequel. No, fuck that. I'm not gonna do it. The Happening is a sequel to Signs because the aliens come back and they use our H2O against us, and like maybe they poison.
We
the
don't
water.
know. It's the wind, but we don't know what it is. Maybe they like.
I thought it was the plants. So
it is, but it's a wind that's like it's the plants, but like they communicate through this like wind or some shit. I guess it's like I think it's like releasing some kind of pheromone or some. I don't know what it is. It's something that like whenever the wind blows, that's when the shit happens.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because the plants are releasing like a pollen or pheromone that like fucks people's brains up or whatever. But maybe it's like the aliens were genetically manipulating some of the plants to do.
Well,
I don't fucking know.
maybe they genetically manipulated the water that feeds the plants, and then they kind of like, because you know how it's just a fucking cycle that goes on. They're like, you will never kill us with your water again. Now we will kill you by your own. I don't know. Fucking, it's ridiculous. All right, that'll be the end of this episode. If you enjoyed, please subscribe,
like,
notification bell. We have links below to the shirts. I have a shirt. If you want to buy a shirt, I mean, please, by all means, do that. We have other podcasts that you'll find the links to below. Comment anything you would like below. Even if you like us, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Or if you hate us, subscribe and tell us in every episode that we drop on YouTube.
Man. I want to see the comments
that you hate us, please.
Yeah.
You have
Even
no
if
idea.
You just want
like,
to say we're ugly or something. It's fine, but like, let us hear something.
We know that already. So I mean, if you want to confirm it,
you're not gonna hurt our feelings.
By all means, do it. All right, that's it.